Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We are talking Tuesday, July 1st. Happy Dinger Tuesday. Everybody, of course, happy beginning of July. Everybody, the Dong Report is back in your life. I'm once again spraying the board for today. Nice, juicy home run slate that we have for today. So I'm going to have 8 players on Dong Watch for you guys to lock in. Of course, the way we're doing things is I'm going to give you my favorite 3 first. So my first 3 will be my favorites. And then I'll give you guys everybody else at the end. So if you just want to lock in the first 3, you can do that. I would just appreciate it if you just let that video run until the end. And then if you want to lock in everybody, obviously you could do that as well. Before we get into it, let's do a recap from yesterday, which was another really good day. I had 6 home run picks yesterday. We got all 6, or excuse, wow, we did not get, we got two of those 6 to hit a home run. But thank you to the odds, we ended the day with a profit of 0.87 units. So awesome day overall. Nick Castanos came through with a home run. Jazz Chisholm Jr. came through with a home run. And because the odds on both of them, again, we were up 0.87 units. No luck on Contreras, Kurtz, Yandy Diaz, or Willy Adames. But obviously, we will take a day in which we were pretty solidly in the green, up a little bit less than a unit. On the entire season, that now brings our result. We are down 2.6 units, but we're getting very, very close to getting ourselves back into the green on the year. So I'm very happy with how things have been going over the last 10 days or so. Really, since I started spraying the board over the last week, a little bit, like I said, 7 to 10 days, things have gone really, really well. So hopefully that can continue tonight. Down a little bit less than 3% ROI. This is on the entire year. If you are following my unit size guiding, if you're just putting 1 unit on every single home run pick and you're not bothering to differentiate the odds and stuff like that, you are up, or excuse me, differentiate your unit size, you are up 19 units. That's basically how the odds shook out and everything like that. But like I said, it's been really good. Hopefully we can keep that rolling for tonight. And let's get right into it. So it's another really good Dong slate, as I mentioned. Ton of green weather games. We got Fenway Park is good, Coors, the Philly Stadium is good, Nats, Rays, Dodger Stadium, and then some other games that are still in the positive, just not quite, plus 10% or higher. Now, one thing that I do want to get ahead of for the weather report today, a lot of these games, especially the ones on the East Coast, have rain issues. So the ones that you see highlighted here, like this pinkish purple color by Ballpark Pal, that means that there's a chance of rain. And I know that the Phillies and the Nats specifically both have a chance of getting rained out, but it's thunderstorms, so you hope that they can just pass through and maybe the game can be played on some sort of delay. But that is something that we will have to monitor for today, is the fact that we might have some weather games get ruled out or delayed because of weather. Mostly agreement across the board from what the good weather games are according to Weather Edge. The biggest difference here is they don't quite have the Phillies game as highly rated, nor do they have the Pirates as highly rated. But the Nats, they have slightly in the green. They love the Mets, which I don't have a play in this one, but something to keep in mind. They love the Red Sox, which is in agreement. Slight positive, I should say, in the Braves game, which is in agreement. I don't have anything in the Cubs or Rockies. And then slight disagreement on the Dodgers. So most of the games that I chose, there was agreement across the board. And let's just get right into it. So the first play that we're going to go ahead and lock in here is Joe Adele. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is offered at plus 375 at Bet365. That's the best offered price on him. You can get 370 at FanDuel, so no issues with the odds or anything like that. I would take both of those numbers. Adele is somebody that I've gone with a decent amount recently. He's come through for us more often than not. He's been awesome. You look at him over the last week. 10 hard hits is not going to put him among the league lead. It's a healthy number. 4 barrels is really good. 4 barrels in the last 7 days is really good. You look at him over the last 14 days, 19 hard hits, which is really good. 7 barrels, which is really good. So just showing you that he's hitting the ball very well. Now, the pitching matchup he's going up against is interesting. Didier Fuentes is pitching for the Braves. He's a highly rated prospect. He's like, I think 20 years old or 25. He's really young. And he's got good stuff. Now, he's only made 2 starts in the major leagues. He's gotten rocked in both of those starts. I mean, look at these numbers across the board. He's allowed 3 home runs in 8 innings pitched. That's really bad. He's allowed a home run every 12.33 at-bats. That's really bad. And every single number across the board. I mean, it's not like he's just gotten bad luck. Barrel rate, high. Hard hit rate, high. Line drive plus fly ball rate, 70%. Very, very high. And he's not striking anybody out. Like, it's just horrible numbers across the board. You hope just for this guy's career that he turns it around, but it has not been a good start. And Joe Adell's been awesome. I mean, again, I just showed you the numbers. He's been really good. 14% barrel rate over the last month, 56% hard hit rate, 32% fly ball rate. The biggest thing for Fuentes is that he throws that four-seamer 60% of the time. Got good location on it, and he struck out. I did look into his profile because I was curious. Struck out a lot of guys in the minors. Again, it's only been 2 starts, so you don't want to make too big of a deal out of it, which is why I'm not taking 7 Angels, because he could kind of pull things together and just have an electric start, or it could get rocked again. But against the four-seam fastball specifically, I mean, the numbers for Joe Adell are just ridiculous. 23% barrel rate, over 70% hard hit rate, 38% fly ball rate. That's over the last month against righties. You want to look at the last 3 months, which is basically the entire year. They're not going to look as good for Joe Adell because he's been, his hot streak has been over the last month or so, but still very good. 14.75% barrel rate, 50% hard hit rate, 34% fly ball rate. Really good numbers for Adell, and we're getting a decent price on him. Like, he was just plus 300 just a couple days ago. So I really like going with him once again. That is play number 1 and my one of my 3 favorites for the day. Next up, another favorite of mine over the last couple days or so, Marte. We are taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 400 odds at Bet365, and I would still take it at 350 at both DK and ESPN Bet. Love this play on Marte. He admittedly did not have a great day at the plate yesterday. 0 hard hits. But just look at this run he's been on. I mean, it's been since June 20th, June 20th until now. He's just been on an absolute roll. It's been 10 games. In those 10 games, 9 barrels, 17 hard hits. Incredible numbers. So yeah, I'm not going to be scared off because he had one game where he did not have a single hard hit. Because look, that happened back on June 22nd, and then look how we followed that up with. So still well within the hot stretch for Marte, and he's got a good pitching matchup as well. Hayden Birdsong is pitching for the Giants, and he's not terrible. Over the last 5 weeks, he's given up a home run every 24 at-bats, which is below average, but not terrible. Against lefties, though, we see 3 of those 4 home runs have been hit off of lefties, and those numbers went from slightly below average to bad across the board. Barrel rate, 7%, 50% hard hit rate, line drive plus fly ball rate. Those numbers honestly aren't terrible. The line drive plus fly ball rate over the last 5 weeks, and you'll want to look at the entire season just to kind of compare the 2 numbers. Home run every 21 at-bats is still pretty bad, and much worse against lefties than righties. And Marte is a switch hitter, so he's going to be batting lefty against the right-handed pitcher in Hayden Birdsong. Another thing is the biggest issue for Birdsong is his four-seam fastball, especially recently. You look at the last 5 starts for him. That's where 2 of his 3 home runs have been hit. Granted, he throws it over 50% of the time, so the math just makes sense. But either way, he's going to see it. Marte is over 50% of the time, and he annihilates four-seam fastballs. That's what the most damage he's done. This is on the entire year. I mean, ridiculous numbers. 34% barrel rate. 2/3 of the time, it's a hard hit. Fly ball rate, 37% is fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. And he never strikes out. Like, you compare that to Corbin Carroll, who's hurt, but also has really good numbers against the four-seamer. He also strikes out over more than twice as much against the four-seam fastball. That's on the season. Basically, you look at the last month for Marte, it's still really, really good. Barrel rate is high. K rate is low. Fly ball rate is acceptable. The hard hit rate isn't quite as good, but when he does, he barrels it up. So I see no reason to not go right back to Marte. I didn't go with him yesterday, but with how hot he has been, I see no reason not to go with him. That's play number 2 and my second of 3 favorites. And then the last one, in terms of my 3 favorites, is James Wood. Now, everybody was on James Wood on Sunday, and he was intentionally walked 4 times. Once this loads, you will see that he was intentionally walked 4 times. That's ridiculous. Loser energy from the Angels who did that. It's ridiculous. I don't think that's going to happen again. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. And the worry with James Wood is it's possible that he has cooled off from the run that he was on. So we'll kind of see, like, if he has another bad day at the plate today, then we'll have to give him a little bit of a break. But I'm not quite ready to say that he's completely cold. And he's got a good matchup. Jack Flaherty is pitching for the Tigers. Flaherty's got good stuff, but he can also give up hard contact. It's kind of one of those things where, I mean, his K rate against lefties is pretty low, and the hard hit rate is high. The line drive rate is high. Now, the fly ball rate is low, but the line drive rate is high, which is kind of perfect for James Wood, who his home runs are more so line drives than they are fly balls. That's over the last 5 weeks. He's admittedly worse against righties. That number is slightly down against righties, granted, again, slightly. And then you look at him on the entire year, that's where it's much worse against lefties. Home run every 15 at-bats against lefties, every 24 against righties. Regardless, you take out the righty versus lefty split, that home run number below every 20 at-bats is really bad. And the numbers across the board are not horrible. They're not everything redded out like you saw with Fuentes, but they're definitely not good. And James Wood, I mean, obviously everybody knows how good James Wood has been this year. He's been awesome. 10 of the 16 home runs have been hit off of the fastball from Flaherty. 6 of them of the 9, that's very nice, have been hit from lefties. And James Wood hits four-seam fastballs from lefties really well. This is over the last month. 17% barrel rate, 55% hard hit rate, 44% fly ball rate. Granted, he does strike out a lot. So 40% of the time he's striking out. So, I mean, he hasn't made contact with one in a little bit because it's been a lot of strikeouts. So that's kind of what I mean by, is his hot stretch a little bit over? But then you take the sample size a little bit wider and you still see really, really good numbers for James Wood. And that strikeout rate halves on the season versus the last month. So we'll see what we get from James Wood. Again, walked 4 times this last game, and then 1 hard hit, 2 hard hits, then none for 2 games, but then 2 in a barrel. And then prior to that, like on the 16th, he was really hitting the ball well. So we'll just have to see. This one is not looking at immediate recent results, but it's looking at a wider sample size from who's been one of the best hitters this year specifically, and who's got a really, really good matchup against Jack Flaherty. You just got to hope that this game is played tonight. But that is my third of my top 3 favorites. So if you want to lock those in, again, it was Joe Adell, Ketel Marte, and James Wood. And I forgot to give you the price on Wood, which is plus 475 at Bet365. Ballpark Pal likes it. They have his true odds at plus 333. And then you can get plus 450 at Fanatics and DK, which I would still take for those of you that can't use Bet365. So those are my top 3. I am locking in all of these guys, just to be clear, but those are my top 3. And we'll just go in order. So next up is Corey Seager. We are taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at 350 at FanDuel. So a little bit of a stinkier odds play. Him and Adell are the only 2 guys, I believe, that are lower than plus 400 odds. Him and Adell. So a decent card today. And Seager's been really good. You know, he spent a lot of the year hurt. Really good recently, I should say. He spent a lot of the year hurt. And then when he wasn't hurt, he really wasn't hitting that well. Except for recently, he's been really, really good. Last 14 days, 21 hard hits is really good. 6 barrels is really good. You look at him over the last week, 11 hard hits is really good. And so is Simeon, who's also hitting the ball well. And 4 barrels is really good. Now, the biggest issue with Seager has been the ground ball rate over 50% is not good. But the last 14 days, that fly ball rate at 40% is acceptable, and the pull rate, you hope that it was also at 40%, but the fact that he's hitting fly balls 40% of the time for Corey Seager is actually pretty good because he's just not hitting any line drives. It's either in the air or it's on the ground, and that's fine as long as it's in the air. Now, the pitcher he's going up against, Brandon Young. So not a ton of data off of him. He's only pitched, I think, 3 starts this year. His home run per 9 is like 1.42. He's not terrible. He's also definitely not good. Game Day Insights has Charlie Morton as the starter for the Orioles, which I'm pretty sure is wrong because I looked at a bunch of different sources and they all had Brandon Young. But Ballpark Pal loves the advantage for Seager. In terms of pitch mix, it's what works out well for Seager. Seager's obviously really good, but he throws the 4-seam fastball the majority of the time, which Seager crushes. It's the off-speed stuff like the sinker and stuff that Seager doesn't hit as well, but changeup good, curve good, cutter good. Now the changeup and curveball are off-speed stuff, but he's got an A+ against it. So should be an advantage, Seager. This game is being played at the Rangers home stadium, which is a dome, but it is a slight hitters-friendly dome, so no issues with the weather there. So that's play number 4. Next up, I'm going right back to him. Give me Nick Castanos to hit a home run. He has been awesome recently. He came through for us yesterday. He hit a home run. He had, I believe, 2 hard hits, if I remember correctly, yesterday. Just the one, but that one happened to be a home run. He had a couple hard hits before that, The biggest thing for Casty is he's hitting the ball well, and the pitcher is going up against Nick Pivetta, is a home run guy specifically to righties, even though he's a right-handed pitcher. His home runs are much, much worse against righties. So you look at him on the year. 2 home runs allowed to lefties, home run allowed every 82 and a half at-bats. That's very good. Against righties, 9 home runs allowed, home run every 18.67 at-bats, and numbers across the board are consistently and across the board worse against righties than lefties. I mean, you just look, barrel rate goes down, hard hit rate goes down. Everything is worse against lefties. The pitch mix, I mean, he's got a lot of them that get crushed. The biggest one is the four-seamer, which he throws 45% of the time. And he hasn't gotten better recently. Let me show you his last 5 weeks just to kind of give you the full picture here. Home run every 12 at-bats to righties over his last 5 starts. That's really, really, really bad. Barrel rate is way worse. And then Casty, the biggest issue for Casty is anything off speed, the slider that starts in the strike zone and then ends out of the strike zone, he's going to swing at. He's going to swing and miss because that's what Casty does. The four-seam fastball, he can take advantage of it and he can hit it hard. And that's what he's going to see almost half the time. Now, the sweeper, he might strike out a million times. The sweeper might get him. But you look at his numbers on the year, on the year against the four-seamer, 55% hard hit rate, 22% fly ball rate, 8% barrel rate are acceptable. You look at the last month, though, much, much better. The strikeout rate, 33% of the time, is fine because all the other numbers are really good. So when he's hitting the ball, he's swinging for the fences. And you just look into his four-seam fastball numbers. 107.8 miles per hour home run, 107.7 hard hit, 96, 97, 105.1, like really good numbers. And then if you just want to see the sweeper, he hasn't seen a ton of them recently, but they've gone well. I mean, that's a lot of green, 1 red, a lot of green, 100 miles an hour, 99, 106. That's over the last month. You look at the last 3 months for Casty, it's not going to be as good. So you see that the sweeper stuff has been a lot more recent, which is good. And then the first-seam fastball's kind of been good all year. So I like Castellanos to hit a home run. He's also another one that we're getting a good price on that Ballpark Pal likes. They have him at plus 350. We got him at 475, which you can get at a bunch of different books. Bet365, Fanatics, and DK. That's play number 5. Next up, I'm going with O'Neal Cruz. We're taking him to hit a home run. One of the biggest things I like with Cruz is the price. Plus, that scared me for a second. Plus 650 on DraftKings is a really good price. I mean, I would still take 575 at Bet365, but 650 at DK is a really good number. Now, Cruz has mostly been cold over the last month. Now, we just hit 2 home runs on Sunday. And then yesterday, I'm not going to say he had a good day at the plate. He did have 2 hard hits. They were both hit above 100 miles an hour. The problem is they almost just went straight into the ground with the launch angle, whereas O'Neal Cruz, of -21 and -12. That's not great. At least he's hitting the ball above 100 miles an hour. And again, he just hit 2 home runs on Sunday. So obviously he was able to lift it on Sunday. The pitcher he's going up against, Andre Palente, is a little bit scary for somebody like O'Neal Cruz because he is a ground ball pitcher. You see that fly ball rate is low, but he does get hit up a little bit harder by lefties. With the biggest thing, the four-seam fastball is 60% of his pitch mix. Now, he's only allowed 2 home runs to lefties over the last 5 starts. That home run every 30 at-bats, that's generally pretty good. You look at him I'm going to look at this year. Home run every 28 at-bats to lefties is generally still pretty good. But again, that biggest issue is his four-seam fastball, which is so much of his pitch mix, 65% of the time. And you look at O'Neal Cruz, the one thing that he does well is he hits four-seam fastballs from lefties really well. This is on the entire year. Now, he strikes out a lot. He's always going to strike out a lot because he swings for the fences. But 16% barrel rate, 71% hard hit rate, 31% fly ball rate. That's on the entire year. You look over the last month when he's been cold. Like, this has not been a good month for O'Neal Cruz. Still has acceptable numbers. Barrel rate just below 10% is not bad. The hard hit rate is high. The fly ball rate is good. And the strikeout rate is about the same. So I do think that we're going to see signs that he's coming out of that slump again. He hasn't seen a four-seam fastball from a righty in a little bit, but he just hit 2 home runs on Sunday. And the biggest thing here is the price. You know, Cruz is sometimes offered in the 300s. If he was, I wouldn't take him. At plus 650, I think that's fine. And this is an okay weather game. The PNC Park has got a shorter right field than they do left field. So for someone like Cruz, who's a left-handed hitter, that does help. Next up, we got 2 more, and I'll be quick with these. I know this one's going a little bit longer. I'm going right back to Willy Adames to hit a home run. He did not hit a home run yesterday. He was one of the guys that did not come through for me. He had an okay day at the plate. He had 2 hard hits, which is fine. 2 hard hits for Willy Adames, which is fine. That's not great. One of them was smoked, 109 miles an hour off the bat. Just needed to get that launch angle a little bit higher. And then another one, 98.4, is fine. The biggest thing for Adames is the pitching matchup. I mean, Zach Gallen, he's from Philly, so I got to respect him, but he really has not been good this year. On the entire year, home run every 19.79 at-bats is bad. Against righties, every 19 at-bats, that's bad. Over the last 5 starts for Zach Gallen, home run every 19.5 at-bats and 15. So he's been worse against lefties over the last 5 starts, but still bad against righties. Now the Giants, you could go Devers. He's kind of cooled off, so that's why I didn't go with him. But Adames has been hitting the ball well. That's why I went with him yesterday. He's got a good matchup against Zach Gallen. So I just wanted to go right back to him. And again, we're getting a pretty good price. Plus 525 on Adames is a good price. Ballpark Pal really liked it. Ballpark Pal liked both plays that I had yesterday that hit. So that's another thing that I do want to shout out. And then the last one is another play on the price. It's the price in the pitch mix. It's Roman Anthony. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is offered best at DraftKings at plus 700 odds. Now, line shop that. Look at every other book. 700, the closest one is FanDuel at 560. Then we see 400 at Seager's, which, like, what are we doing here? That's ridiculous. And then 500 at ESPN Bet, 540 and 525. DK, which is available to everybody that can legally bet, plus 700 is a really good price. And the biggest thing for Roman Anthony. So Brady Singer is pitching for the Reds. Now, Singer on the year has really bad home run numbers. He's been good recently. I will give him that, especially even against lefties. Home run every 37 at-bats. But look at these ancillary numbers. Barrel rate above 10%. Hard hit rate 55%. Line drive plus fly ball rate above 50%. So those numbers are not good. Then you look at him on the year. Home run every 23 at-bats to lefties. 32 at-bats overall. So it's not like he's been really good all year or anything. I just think he's kind of gotten lucky in the home run department. And I think that's going to change. And the reason I like Roman Anthony a lot is Brady Singer is a sinker and slider thrower. Those are the 2 biggest pitches he throws in terms of pitch mix. And they both get hit really hard, the sinker and the slider. Those are the only home runs he's given up to a lefty. Well, Roman Anthony, let's look at him against the sinker. It's a smaller sample size because he's just been called up, but 25% barrel rate, 66.7% hard hit rate, 30% fly ball rate. Really, really good numbers. Has a home run off the sinker. Let's look at him against the slider. Really, really good numbers. 33% barrel rate, 75% hard hit rate, 25% fly ball rate. The strikeout rate is high, but not terrible, not in the 30s, like you saw with some other guys. So you look at both those put together, those are phenomenal numbers against the sinker and the slider. And again, we're getting him at 700. It's a really good weather game, plus 17% according to Ballpark Pal. And I think it was 10% according to Weather Edge. So they really like it. And Roman Anthony, since he's been called up, has been serviceable. He hasn't been amazing. I mean, I think he's the number 1 prospect in baseball. If not, he's high. 14% barrel rate is acceptable. 48% hard hit rate is acceptable. The line drive rate is definitely low, which is always going to be a concern, is him not being able to lift the ball. But he had a hard hit yesterday, 2 before that, 3 in a barrel, 2 in a barrel. So, he's been mostly good. And again, it's a pitch mix thing against a pitcher that I think is due to get hit up, which is why I like Roman Anthony. And I really like the price at plus 700. So that's all we got. We'll go ahead, we'll do a quick recap and we'll get on out of here. The full card is James Wood, Corey Seager, Nick Castanos, O'Neal Cruz, Willy Adames, Ketel Marte, Roman Anthony, and Joe Adell. If you want my 3 favorites, it's Joe Adell, Ketel Marte, and James Wood. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Check out Ballpark Pal. Check out my Tails account, which is just where I send everything out. Appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You all get it. Bet responsibly, and have a good one.